Alright, go ahead and go to MailChimp.com and log in using the supplied login I have with the username Simtech Inc. Once we're at this page, we can go ahead and reuse old templates or old emails I've set up as a baseline or create our own. In this case, I'm going to just reuse one since it's much simpler. You can click on campaigns once we're on the home page. And here are the past events I've set up. Now these are just email templates. I have used a service to send emails out, but since we have such messy email lists, the account gets locked often. So I recommend only using MailChimp for creating the email template. This is a lot easier than trying to hard code yours in HTML or even use Dreamweaver. It might not be the ideal solution, but again, it's no cost. So click on the 3D printing event in Bellevue. This is the one I recently created. This was a thank you email that we created to send out to customers. So it's pretty simple. Just select what area you'd like to modify. I created a simple banner inside of Photoshop. It wasn't too difficult, and then I just uploaded it. So you can click on this area and say replace content. Now there's images that I've already uploaded for various emails that I've made, or you can upload your own from finding it on your computer. So that's easy to do. That's a banner up front. To edit the text area, just click inside there and just start editing whatever text you'd like to add. What an area I didn't end up developing is this kind of 3-image area where you can add in some different features or images to spruce up the email. This is just a real simple one. We'll take a look at some of the others I've done and walk through the process of how to get this to your inbox and then out to your customers. So let's do the X7 rollout that I created. Okay, so this is a registration for the BABC Aerospace Conference. Pretty simple again. What I do to create a template, and I'll just go through that real quick. First, you have to create a campaign or reuse an existing one. Let's just do this. Select recipients. Because I'm not going to actually send this, we can just click the office recipients just to get to the next stage. Go ahead and fill in this information, what subject you want the email to be. Again, you can change this later. The from email address, again, it's all can be changed later. We're trying to get to the design tab. So I would start with a pre-designed template and work out from there, especially if you're not gifted in this regard. There's different categories we can do here. What I like to do is use their email designer. This starts with basic templates, and for someone at least has a grasp on graphic design, it might be a good place to start. They have one column email, so this is just a pretty standard looking email. One column banded, so they got some different image areas. You can always click on preview to take a look at how it will generally look. So here's a very simple email. You can generally produce pretty good looking emails from these templates here. And a common one I like to use is the 1 to 3 column banded. So here you can place a image like a banner up top, link that to your web page. You can put in your text and add in some placeholders. But what I'm going to do for this example is create a template for an event. And so we're going to go back to the design tab here, go back a step, go back into selecting a pre-designed one, and they have them especially for templates. I think it's under the e-commerce. I like to use the ones where the date's very obvious. This is a good one, but I commonly use this one. Save the date. So you can see here that it's very obvious the date. That definitely helps customers. And then just put in some basic information. Maybe replace this up here with our logo and our information, and then this down here can be the label of your event. So let's go ahead and use this one. So there's the plain text. Just make sure this is how it'll look in plain HTML. But let's go ahead and start adding in some of our information here. So let's change this to the image that we already have, this general Simtech one. Let's link it to www.multiaxis.com. Open a new window, insert image. So there's our banner. Save the date. Let's just put this as Portland 3D printing event, and then maybe underneath we can talk a little bit about the date of the event. Alright. Center this. Center this. And let's make this text a little bit more bold, larger. There we go. Perfect. I might put the event venue name. Okay. Just need to change this date to the 20th. That's our fictional date for the event. And then change this to April. So see how quickly we're going through here. This can be a little blurb maybe, and then we can fill with the body of the text itself. We can also add a event registration button. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's just put in text. Register now. Make this large and bold. And then make it a link. We'll want to do www.multiaxis.com /event and insert that. Save and close. Alright, so that's the basics of the email. How we get it in our inbox, and we just click on preview and test and send a test email. In this case I have it linked to my email and click send test. So we're actually done with creating the email portion. Next is to just format it so we can actually send it out. So just wait for the email to come in. Here it is. And we're going to go ahead and just forward this email. So it looks like it did take us to our website, so that's good. Banner. And then let's just forward it. So when we forward it, just get rid of any sort of information you don't want on the email just by clicking delete. You can, that's a little bit too much. And just to make it obvious that we did not use MailChimp to create it, you can actually delete their logo just by clicking that and delete it. You can keep, like I said, any information you want. You want to delete the unsubscribe because that's not going to work. That's a service that MailChimp provides. And just pare it down to the basics. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Now we can forward it to myself like this, send, and should come in. Sometimes it might go into the recycle bin or the junk folder if it comes from myself sometimes. There we go. Alright, so then this is the event email. Seems to work good. If I click on register now, it should take us to our event page. Again, we should spruce this up, maybe just even cut and paste some of the imagery and text from our email into this, and then once the person registers, we can go through that process. Looks like we have Waylon's information in here, very interesting. Company name. Alright, and select one person. If we did two, it may ask us to add a guest. Submit. Great, so they want us to add a guest name. Alright, and then click confirmed, and that would confirm us. And then when we want to download the individuals from the event itself, just click on events, click on attendees. Now you can see everyone that signed up. Edit, delete them if you want, or you can download them as an XLS or CSV. So that's the basics.